All right, my love. So this will be like a little nightcap bonus video. It's still day 4, but it's now like 2 a.m. and I wanted to just kind of, I don't know, I just wanted to kind of get before here and kind of tell you on some of the things that's going on right now. I don't know. This thing is so amazing. So I'm in a phase, especially doing the full, I won't call it a reboot, but the full, like, because I know what to expect. Closing out December, the week before Christmas, when I started this juicing journey, I like I do everything else, just like when I started running marathons. Okay, I literally signed, my first race I signed up for was a 15K. Never ran a day in my life. Never ran a complete mile. Okay, never walked a complete mile without stopping for at least 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, um, I I tend to just dive in head first. that's that's my personality type. So I did that with the juicing and quickly learned, yeah, no. Opened my mouth a little too quick. But the good thing was, one thing, if you know about me, I'm self-taught, I'm a learner, and I'm a researcher. And so even though I had done some studies and what have you, I learn best by using myself as the greatest component and guinea pig, right? And so a number of things that I seen quickly, because I'm intuitive, and so I'm really in tune with my body. And so tip number one, I'm going to tell you all, that was my biggest mistake. As someone that has polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, basically, even though I've reversed my type 1 diabetes, my body still at times, and I don't need insulin. I'm off my metformin. I haven't been on that stuff for years. I still have hormonal imbalance. Okay, with the PCOS, in my body type, my insulin does spike, and I can tell when my insulin spike. The drinks were phenomenal, but the drinks were it was too much sugar. So I really had, I started diving a little bit more because I started noticing I would feel great energy, right? But I would crash. I knew that was an insulin issue. Even though I wasn't eating, I was like, okay, so the drinks, it has too much sugar in it. And at that point, you know, it's pointless to juice. You'll be getting fat, okay? Because the issue with us, any of us that have a hormonal imbalance or insulin sensitive, okay? I'm sorry, not insulin sensitive, insulin resistant. It's just gonna, we just get fat. Plain and simple. Our bodies fail to metabolize the sugars and it gets stored as fat, the glucose, okay? So I started noticing that. So I started going more towards vegetable base that were low glycemic, all right? But that was kind of nasty. And it was something else that, oh yeah, so, and I started incorporating different, some peppers, stuff like that. Fast forward, I had some things started happening, and I was like, okay, I don't think this is right. And started doing some more research and realized that I needed not only the juice, and everything is fine. And as I've said in other videos before, sometimes you can be doing everything right, but it can be wrong for your body type. And this is why it's important to be intuitive or to have a coach and to journal everything that you're feeling, thinking, seeing. You have to be in tune. How you peeing, how you pooping. You have to dictate these things. You have to, notate these things. So with me doing that, man, I should have turned my space heater off. I hope y'all hear me. In me doing that, I was able to see where I needed to, and I'm a wellness coach, so I know how to do nutrition. I knew how to offset some different things, incorporating protein, plant-based protein, as well as healthy lipids, healthy fats, okay? So that gestational period, that as my body is metabolizing the juice, the fat and the protein helps stabilizes it, okay? And my insulin is not being spiked, but managing doing this with liquid only. So I don't know if you could tell my face, I'm seeing the slim up. Usually I kind of I have a really big smile, really big cheeks and whatever, but I'm really seeing my face go in. I'm liking that. I'm seeing the back. I have been doing abdominal exercises, so I get right here in this spot where I'm at by my closet, and when I get up in the morning, I do anywhere between, I would say, 70 to 100 plus different core exercises, which I still feel it. You feel it all day. The best time to do your abdominals are in the morning, okay? I'm waking up, I don't have much of an appetite. I keep my water with me. I'm still doing the hot sauce trick. I'll put some hot sauce on my hand. The hot sauce have no calories. It has, you know, nothing that's gonna harm you. So it really helps get that salt flavor in my mouth, and whatever I'm tasting or feeling, it subsides. So it helps with that, and I think it just needs the salt. Of course, keeping my water at hand. But even at night, like tonight, now I did take a my sinuses was bothering me, and I think everything's starting to drain out. And I did take the Aleve D because my sinus headaches get so, it's like a migraine. So I took that. So I probably won't have an appetite for the next 2 days. What I don't like about taking the medicine is I really should take it with something on my stomach. I don't want my stomach being torn up, but it's just the risk that I had to take. But I've dropped from doing, I was doing about 64 ounces of juice a day. I'm down to, y'all, maybe consuming 40 ounces, 40, if that, 40, 32 ounces. Again, I'm using my intuitive, because remember, I'm all about intuitive eating. I'm using my intuition and allowing my body, my mind to guide me. I've researched some people actually will turn into a dry fast. And I think at some point I'll probably do a few days will be a dry fast, meaning I'm just doing water. You need your water. It's amazing how the body can survive with little to no food, and actually with me, no food. I love the phytonutrients and the microbes that I'm getting in the juices, but I like the break in not eating. I really do. I am thinking about all the things, like I was like, I'm gonna make an oxtail stew, I'm gonna make some chicken and dumplings, but they're just thoughts, and I have to, one of the things you see is the sight game, and your mind tries to remind you of things that was good. Let me tell you, before I go, when I did have, remember I did a video about the cheat, and I was talking about how, and there was a few more cheats after that, y'all. And I was talking about how I ate some of the foods. The biggest disappointment in the food that I was eating was the realization that it didn't taste that good, and it didn't quench my desire, my hunger. Hunger isn't real. It isn't real. One of the things I am doing this go around is I've been praying a lot, and I've actually, like, I don't see how you can do this without having some kind of spiritual connection. You're gonna need the strength of God, and you know, I have a good relationship with the Lord, but this was the first time I actually, like, wholeheartedly poured myself out, and I said, God, empower me, strengthen me, show me, tell me, what do I eat, what do I do, let me know what's real, what's not real. And I can honestly say I feel like that power has taken over, and I'm not bogged down and tormented about food. I went into Whole Foods to get my alkaline water and to get some bone broth, because I am doing bone broth, okay, maybe like 3 times a week. I'll be doing that, and y'all know I love the hot bar in Whole Foods. Like, I love it. I was I mean, genuinely, it wasn't like I was euphoric, I genuinely was unfazed. Now I knew to get my butt out of there quickly. But this experience is it's phenomenal. I the biggest construct is reprogramming your mind to, like, when I'm in Starbucks and I just get a tea, or not to stop and get a snack here, because it's the little micro expressions and things that we do within our day that's adding up these calories, and we're wondering, well, like me, I eat good, I eat healthy, what's really going on here? And I see saving a lot of money, that's good. But yeah, I just wanted to talk to you all a little bit, kind of drop that down in your soul. If I was to say anything, I would say trial and error. There's a lot of people on the internet, and there's a lot of books, and I was like, I did not want to get inundated with everyone else's story. I wanted this to be my own. And the best way that you will be able to make the greatest change in your life is by you taking fear out the factor and just doing it through trial and error. Look, some of us may not lose the 100 pounds in 90 days, okay? But I mean, what about your overall self-worth and being and your spiritual connection? Like how I'm feeling right now, like I'm on a whole nother level. I'll be honest, one of the things I did not want to admit and I think I've been on and off, especially on Instagram, but I combat it with, Kimberly, do you want to really be this smaller image? And what does that say for you being somewhat, I don't really consider myself being in the plus size community, but because I do, a lot of my clients and a lot of people that follow me, they are within that demographic. Am I betraying them? And I had to realize that I'll be doing not only them but myself the greatest dissatisfaction or disadvantage by not bettering myself optimally. I have to be the better version for myself, for my purpose, for my children, for my future children, my future husband. I don't have children or husband yet, but we're declaring it and decreeing it. For my enterprises, my businesses. I have multiple businesses. I am highly creative and artistic, and there's so many things I want to do, but this outer shell, as confident as I preached I was, as secure as I come off to be, I still had this demon in the back of my head tormenting me about my exterior. Not because of what everyone else has, because you all are great. You tell me I'm beautiful, you affirm me, and I appreciate it. Perfect strangers do. I get it all the time. But I need to see that for myself. And the reason why I don't see that for myself is because I know I can be 100 times better. Not saying it's all aesthetics. I'm not saying that. But our aesthetics is tied to our soul well-being. I don't care to look like Cardi B. I don't care to look like Beyonce. I'm not esteeming to be none of them broads. I'm not. I want to be the best version of Kimberly. And the best version of Kimberly is healthy, is holy, is mobile, is doing ultra marathons and triathlons. That's what I want to do. With my babies at the finish line, cheering their mama on at 45, because hell, y'all know I'm 37, so. But yeah, this is for me. And I'll be honest, I feel as though I heard the Holy Spirit. I heard God say, Kimberly, your body is your temple. And your destiny, your purpose, where you're trying to go is tied to your deliverance of you perfecting your body. And really what God was telling me, he says, I want you to learn the discipline of nutrition, the discipline of eating, the discipline of turning down your plate. I'm telling you, food, us eating, is related I would say, to 90% of our life. I've seen it. I can't vocalize it. I don't have the vernacular to even share with you what I've seen and what I know I've come to see. All because of food. And if you was a binge eater like me, a closet eater, in childhood I had a lot of eating disorders, filthy eating disorders, y'all, bad. And it even pierced into my adulthood at times, usually when I was in some form of emotional distress. The Bible says a spirit goes into a dry place. When it's cast out, it goes into a dry place and it wanders. But then it seeks its home, the host. And it says, I'll just go back home. But it understands this. Because it was kicked out, that means something was strong enough to kick it out. So it comes back with 7 more spirits to put you in bondage. So many times we do these diets, so many times, and we're successful. Y'all know I've been successful. But somehow that thing creeps back in and it takes a stronghold, and I'm tired. And I think when we truly get a foothold on this thing, we are going to be dynamic, because nothing else is going to be able to govern us, to tempt us, to draw us away from our purpose, who we are. Okay? We stay focused. Think about it. Let me tell you something. One thing is I learned. Thinking of food takes up a lot of your time. Eating, cooking, preparing takes up a lot of our time. I think it's an undisclosed, under the radar trick of the enemy. Look at consumerism. It's an appetite. I remember I was praying to God last night, or maybe this morning, because I'm praying all the time. I said, God, help me to learn of this appetite. Because I'm seeing, like, the times that I usually would eat, I'm just kind of sitting there like, I don't know what to do. I'm like I feel lost to something. And it's because that appetite is suppressed. And so now I'm learning to recondition myself and feed the time I'm supposed to be eating. I can be praying, I could be reading, I could be talking to a friend, I can be exercising. I have more time in my day. Our lives are centered around food. And I like food. I follow a lot of food pages because I like it. I've always been a cook since the age of 9, 10, cooking 4-course meals for my family. I have a big, family. But food for a while is going to be on my back burner. I mean, this feels amazing. I gave up social media. I know how to take a break, come back. I'm governing my temple. And I am mindful of what I see, hear, smell, but also what I put in my mouth, what I eat. Because if you can control that palate, if you can control that, the power and strength for us to do so much more, I see it. I see it, I sense it, I get hints of it, I get it. And I want it. I want it a hell of a lot more. And with God, I'm going to get there. And I'm going to get the body that will be able to do the things that's going to glorify God and allow me to live my purpose. And I want to end with this. And I might cry a little. Oh, I don't know how much space I have on my phone, so this might cut out. But if there's anybody out there that in the past, with my YouTubes, with my postings on any of my social media platforms, that I've offended, that I came off hostile or ignorant or uncaring. Now, mind you, I don't take no mess. Let's make this clear. And I don't put up with any foolishness, and I don't kiss no ass. But I know I can be crass. I know I can be rough around the edges and a little bit of tough love. And I'm not going to justify my actions. And I hope that going forward, my speech, my verbiage, because I'm working on my cussing, my attitude is nothing but positive. Now, mind you, I would get up in that butt. I have no, but this platform and how God's been dealing with me, I don't want, now some people are going to be offended. Some people are always going to be offended because they just don't like me or they just don't like you. But I myself can't even operate in the spirit of offense. But I also understand that I probably have wrongfully offended people. And today I apologize and I ask for your forgiveness, and I hope that if whomever sees this, that you go in peace, and I bid you to find what works for you. If anything you learn from me is I'm a risk taker. I take chances and I throw myself out there, and I restart and I restart and I restart. Even as a life coach, as a wellness coach, I am still growing. I'm still maturing. I'm developing, and I'm an open book at times. I really am. And sometimes some things I should have been a bit more quiet. I should have waited before I opened my mouth, and I didn't. So I pray that you take my sincere apology. I pray that you seek peace, and that you, if you need to, apologize to whomever so that they may have peace. Because sometimes we don't know the wrongs that we do. And I don't want that blood on my hands. I don't want any woman out there feeling as if I've made her feel lower or wrong, or she should have done this or did. I ain't that person. Don't you ever give anyone that much power. I damn sure don't give people that power. Okay? So, going forward, I seek to be nothing but the best version of Kimberly. And I'm going to make mistakes, I know. But, forgiveness is key. Some people are going to have a hardened heart. Some people are going to continue to dislike me, to hate me, to give me thumbs down on the video. That's funny. But my prayer is that the Lord deals with you. Because at this point, I know I'm not the problem. The problem is you yourself. And you should never give another human being your peace. Even if that's me or your mama. So, I love you, my loves. If you watched this all the way through, thank you. 23 minutes is a long time, but I hope you found the value in this and to the rest of this journey of mine. Drink some water and get in this word and then go to bed.